Hello there.
Hub community. I just wanted to do a check-in and we're going to do a little bit of Q&A. I wanted to address some questions that had come in regarding our last week's session, Styling Studio Live that we had. Our topic for the month was home makeover prep, which again is what I said that most people skip right through, and that's why they're not satisfied with the changes that they make, because when they want to make some changes to a room or make over a room, they automatically start with purchasing items, which is not where you need to start. You need to start with some evaluation and some conversation, especially with the people in your own home that is also going to be affected by those changes. So all of that is really, really important. So one of the questions was, what if I get some negative feedback on the people in my home that they think things are fine and they don't think anything needs to change? So those are probably the people that don't really care much about looking at things that are pretty. It doesn't really maybe affect their mood as much as it might some people. And a lot of times those people, they just don't like change. They're just very resistant to change. So before you move on and just say, I'm doing it anyway, I don't care what you think. Now, of course, if it's your kids, then that's okay. But if it happens to be your spouse, well, that might not be okay, because you don't want to cause that tension in your relationship. But you need to sit down and have a conversation and explain why this is important to you, because people don't want to change their room or make their home pretty just for the sake of making it pretty. That's not what it's about. For most women, that's not what it's about. It's about a feeling that you are trying to get, that you are aiming for. It's the feeling that when you walk into a room that you just feel like home, that you are relaxed, that you are able to just enjoy the time in your space, that you're just able to sit there and look around and enjoy the view without really having to think about a lot of things that might be weighing heavy on your mind. It's like a retreat. It's just like when you go to have a massage. You know, the ambiance in the room and the setting and the music and the sounds really all play into your experience. And that is just like in our home. The tone that our home sets really has a huge impact on the way that we feel. It's part of our self-care. That's part of my self-care, is to continually be doing things in my home to make me feel more comfortable here and the people living here more comfortable. And for me, that's making things look pretty and feel pretty and be comfortable. And also, you know, it's about wanting to invite people into your home. And maybe you do want to have that social aspect in your home, but you just don't want to invite anybody in the way it is. So it's important to explain to the person that is giving you some pushback and not really wanting to support any changes in your home, to explain to them why it's important to you, other than just looking pretty, because that may just not be enough for them. So I hope that is helpful for you. Another question that came in is it really like all that important? Like I get that it's important to think about the room that you want to do and to set the parameters and all of that, but is it really that important to have these conversations? Like, if I know my family isn't going to care, and my spouse is usually pretty like okay with whatever I do, isn't it okay just to skip all that and just dive right in? And I would say no, because you can get some really awesome feedback from the people in your family that might help you with some decisions that you need to make that maybe you wouldn't have thought about before. It's really all about gathering information. Really, before you start any project, the best thing you can do is gather information. And you may be surprised at what information you are able to gain that may help you make some of those decisions that you otherwise are going to have to make on your own, and they might be really hard. And especially, like I said in the coaching session, when you are working in your own home, it's just hard. It's hard for me. And so the more information that I can get and ideas that I can get, the better. My husband is usually pretty okay with anything that I do in the house. But I was really surprised when I started talking to him, especially about room arrangement, talking to him about what's his ideas, because I was sort of stuck, and he really shot out some great ideas that I hadn't thought about. So I appreciated that. So be sure and not skip the step. Even if you don't understand it, go ahead and do it, because you have nothing to lose by going through the steps that I outlined. And another question was, so I just want to like make some small changes in all the rooms in my home, because I want them all to look pretty, and I don't want this to take me like 6 months to make happen. So can I just like spread my efforts out among all the different rooms in my home instead of really like picking one? And I'm going to say no to that. And I don't even do that in my own home. Like, for instance, my master bathroom, it's okay. It could use some updating. And every time I go in there, I think, well, I could just go ahead and make this small change. Or I can go ahead and make this small change. Or I could go ahead and buy a few hooks for this and that. But really, when I think about it, like, I want a major master bathroom overhaul at some point. I have no idea when that's going to be. That's on down my list. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to make any small changes here, because all I'm going to do is spend some money. I'm going to do this work, and it's not really going to make the impact that I want, because I really want a major overhaul in my bathroom. So I'm going to spend that time and energy and money on the room that I actually am focusing on at this time. And it's really, really hard for me to do that when I see something in one of my rooms that I just want to change that. But then I think, well, gosh, I want to change this, and I want to change this, and I want to change all of this, and this decision is going to impact this decision. And it's just, it really is, you're just unfolding a lot more than you think you're unfolding when you start even making small changes. And then you get derailed, and then you get frustrated. So I'm going to say, stick to the process that works, and choose one room or one space, and define your perimeter, and focus all your efforts on that. Because if you can focus all your efforts in one area, and you can get that down, and you can make those improvements, and you can see that you're making progress, then that is so rewarding, and it's so motivating, and it's going to keep you moving, and it's going to keep you motivated to do other rooms in your home. So I'm going to say everything that I advised you on in that coaching session is super important. Otherwise, I would have left it out. And so I'm going to stick by all of that and say, follow everything in that coaching session, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you don't understand it, even if you think it's a waste of time. Just we'll do it together. Just do it. Just commit to doing it. You signed up for the coaching to be coached. So be coachable and be actionable and take action, and you will see results. I promise. And I hope that this has been helpful. If there are other questions that you come up with regarding this topic, go ahead and post them in the group, and I will address them. And next week, we are going to jump into Staging Studio, where I'm going to be posting a coaching lesson on staging your home to sell, whether you are a home seller or a realtor. And we are going to get into that content next week. And then the fourth week, we're going to do a wrap up on everything that I have coached you on and everything that you have learned. So I hope you are enjoying the hub so far, and I will see you next time.